Y'all are on. You're live.
Okay.
Ah, boy.
Hello, people.
Oh, man. Here we are.
Hi. Oh, there's Rebecca.
Look at you.
Look at me.
Look at you.
Okay, let me turn this down. She's waving back. Can you tell
Hi, guys.
I have my sleep mask on? Yes. Can you tell we're in our bed? Yes.
Sleep mask. You're cracking me up.
It's so quiet in here.
It's most definitely quiet. What are you guys doing?
What are you doing? What are you doing, Rebecca?
What's your 7:30 looking like right now?
Are you relaxing? She said we're cute. Oh, your mom is watching.
Ah, Mom. How you
That's
doing?
awesome. How do I know we're watching it, though?
Yeah. Make sure Noah's not watching. Just in case.
Yeah, just so we have some privacy. I don't want him, like, over your shoulder, just in case he is listening, just so we aren't having to filter anything or whatever.
Yeah, because you never know what we might
Give
talk
me an
about.
okay or a thumbs up or a yes peg so that we know that you heard that part. Please.
Yeah, because we know you didn't hear Tuesdays and Thursdays and got them mixed up.
Rebecca
Oh
said
my
Evan
gosh.
is chasing her around the house. Yes. They always get really active. Is it bedtime soon? I feel like our kids always get really active right before bedtime.
Yes.
All of a
Wound
sudden
up.
they have all this energy. It's like, really? Oh, boy.
Built-in stall tactics.
Thank you for our nice bed. Yes, I think so, too. I love it.
It's super snuggly.
We had a queen bed forever. It was time for a new mattress, so we switched to a king, which means we got a new headboard.
And new floors and new pillows and sheets and everything that goes with it. It all just evolved. Had to get rid of the 11-year-old carpet. You know how it goes. Anyways.
Let's talk about my mask. How does my mask look? This is comedy right here. Look at this.
It's comedy. It's hilarious.
So yes, thank you for the
Yes.
hearts, because I was talking about boundaries last time, or we were talking about boundaries last time.
Last Tuesday, in case you want to go check it.
Yes, you can go on YouTube to the This Is Us Life Coaching. Oh, I forgot to ask her about that life coaching thing.
Yep.
This Is Us Life Coaching, and we download all the videos on YouTube so that it's easier to go back and look over. But I was talking about what a private person I am. I feel like I'm a private person.
She is.
And so I was like, we're gonna do it in our bed. We're gonna have the video going, like that's as personal, private space as you can get. I'm like, I just gotta get out of my comfort zone. So I want everybody that watches this on the replay, that might mean nothing to you, but I am laying my heart out by sitting in my bed in pajamas for the whole world to see.
Whoop, whoop.
Because we love you and we value you and we want to serve you and give you this message, and we try to get creative and mix it up a little bit. So Here you are.
Here we are.
Hopefully you feel nice and snuggly and cozy and close to us.
Yeah. While we're in bed. I'm just listening to you talk.
I think you're ready for bed. We shouldn't do it in the bed anymore. You're like ready
Well,
to go to
I haven't
sleep.
really been feeling hot all day. But we gonna do this.
Yes.
We gonna do it. We're gonna jump in. Enough talking about what we got going on. We want to dive into Tuesday night, This Is Us, and talk about communication. Communication.
Hi, Brandy. Sorry. I want to
Hi.
say hi to people,
Yeah,
Brandy.
I hear you.
Thank you. I like changing the scenery every time, too. I think it gets boring having the same thing, but you have to get creative.
Yeah, it's super hard to do that.
I really liked the nature last
Don't
time.
be mad at us if we don't do that every time. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is hard, and focus on the lighting at night, too. And then
the outside stuff was fine until it got dark, but then our little light circle ring, like all the bugs were coming to it, and got a little crazy when something went down.
Kaylin, We're in our bed.
Kaylin.
Can you believe this?
Kaylin.
We're in the bed.
Kaylin.
I mean, like, hello, this is all over my personal boundaries right now.
We're doing it for a cause.
Yes, I said I better get lots of thumbs up and hearts. People appreciate.
Yeah, if you
out
guys
of my
will share it
comfort zone.
out.
Yeah, and
Share it
share
out.
right now.
Share it
Share.
out. Just hit the
Right
share
now.
button. Please hit the share button. Share it out. We are actually going to talk about communication, and that is the topic for tonight. We will get there at some
Just
point in
give
time.
us some time. We're settling in. Our day has been crazy. Lil Whirlwind, and he's not feeling super well, but we're showing up. We're showing up.
Because we said we would. Yeah, it's been a hectic day, but what else is new? When is it really not? Like, we would try to get on here when we had a normal day. We would never be on here. Anyways, communication, it's huge. We've talked about it in the marriage one. We talked about it in the parenting one. We're talking about it here for a little bit, maybe a week or 2 or 3. Who knows how long, But
We don't know what we're doing.
Yeah.
But
we're here every
showing
Tuesday,
up.
7:30. Communication, like it's everything. Bad communication is the root of so many problems with your neighbors, with your coworkers, with your boss, with your employees. I got fur on me.
Oh, that's
Your employees, your spouse, your partner, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your kids. Bad communication in any of those relationships results in turmoil, stress, drama, tons of strife. And if you can communicate well, a lot of that stuff gets eradicated because it's just a miscommunication that causes all of the stuff. So we feel like that this time doing a couple of weeks on communication by itself, would be good for everybody and be able to bring value to you, because communication is key. Just
do it all the time, everywhere, with everyone, right?
Yeah. Body language is communication. There's so many ways to communicate. Some studies that we've listened to and heard over the years said 85% of communication is done with body language, which is a lot. Like, you're saying a lot more with your actions, your body, your posture, your looks, your demeanor. That is saying more than what you're actually saying most of the time. And like, I'll be saying something to her sometimes, and I'm just kind of passionate about it. And then when she gives me the face back, she's like, well, your face is like this.
Does my face look like that?
And I'm like, well, that's not how I was meaning it. But see, because of the body language, it was automatically telling her that I was mad at her, I'm angry at her, I'm this or that or this or that. But that came from the body language. It wasn't what I said, because what I said wasn't that. So, we'll talk about that a little bit too. But today, in this scene, we're going to talk about pillow talk.
I don't know if I want
Pillow
you to
talk.
breathe on me.
Pillow talk. Pillow talk.
Yeah, we like to call it pillow
Pillow
talk.
talk.
When
Pillow
you get
talk.
all snuggly,
Pillow talk.
it's pillow talk.
I love you. You're the most amazing person in the whole world.
You talk about your dreams and your goals and your visions. You can talk about
I love you.
something that you enjoyed that they did that day
You was
that
awesome.
ministered love to you.
You was amazing.
And then there's other times when we give the silent treatment. I know you ladies know. Be like,
Hey, yo. We gonna do anything tonight?
honey,
Hello?
would you...
That's what I get.
Okay, now I gotta fix.
Right. So you see how those things happen? And the silent treatment, we really feel that the silent treatment is the enemy. Because you can have bad communication and get
How does my
through
hair
some
look?
things.
Somebody let me know.
But if you have the silent treatment, then all of those thoughts that are rolling through your head, that starts making a story. And that story spins out of control really fast. And it comes from the actual silent part. So even if you're communicating and it's not that great, it's better than the silent treatment.
Yeah, I wanted to say the silent treatment. In the silent treatment, no one wins.
No.
I mean,
And
silence.
the stories.
Yeah, it's painful. It's hurtful. It leaves people guessing, like he was talking about, making up stories. Like when somebody isn't
I can make up a
communicating
story.
with
Boy.
you, you know, even if it's with your friends, it doesn't have to be in a husband-wife relationship. It could be with your friends or coworkers, whatever. This is just relationships in general. If something has hurt your feelings, to not communicate with them that this has happened, you're giving them basically the cold shoulder, the silent treatment, and it's painful to both of you because you're isolating and you're making up stories in your head as to what you think is
They're
going
thinking
on,
or what the problem is.
Yeah, what their motive or intention was, or why they said or did what they did. You're just making it all up and not even giving them a chance to communicate where they're coming from.
And we always make it 100 times worse than it really is, which is why silence is actually the worst. Silence is the enemy. It's the worst.
Yeah, it inflicts pain without bruising. I thought that was really good.
Yes.
Silence.
For sure.
The silent treatment inflicts pain without bruising. And it's a really popular weapon of choice. If you watched our other video in the marriage part talking about put your weapons down, that even silence can be a weapon.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I guess, what they call it, passive-aggressive type of thing. And I could probably be guilty of this, you know, too.
What?
Because, you know,
What?
sometimes you get on one side where, you know, you're trying to, it's different. The silent treatment is different when you're just trying to keep your cool. Maybe you need a timeout.
Yeah, timeout is not
and just
silent
have
treatment.
silence, and so that way the conversation isn't escalating. Let's just have some quiet time, cool down, think about each person's perspective or where we could have missed it or how this could have been taken, and let the emotions come down so you can think a little clearer.
Now that's a couple minutes.
Yeah,
Timeout.
that's intentional, and letting the person know that you'll be back to revisit the conversation so that the person isn't feeling confused, anxiety, having abandonment issues, you know, especially people that have been abandoned, like feel rejected.
Yes.
And it's like, oh, you're just leaving me.
And it triggers it all up.
Yeah. And then now they're dealing with all of this and you're leaving them. It's like emotional abuse.
Yeah,
type of
without
thing.
saying
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
totally
without
what it is.
bruising. You are inflicting pain. So anyways, I was saying that, you know, you can go on one side of the ditch where it's like, oh, well, I'm not yelling and calling you names. I'm not being physical with you. So I'm going to go way over here and I'm just going to completely ignore you.
For like a day or two.
Yeah. So
That's the silent treatment.
that can get painful, you know. So it's walking that fine line, I guess, of figuring out, like, am I just cooling off here and giving myself time to get my thoughts together? But then I am promising, like, we are going to come back. The goal is connection.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to disconnect from you. That's not my goal. I'm not going to keep having you suffer and, like, I'm trying to reject or abandon you. I'm just taking a time out, and then we're going to be intentional on coming back together and trying to communicate in a healthy way. Yes.
Yes.
It is the most common pattern of conflict. It's the most common thing that people choose. And I said not confused with, the silent treatment. Yeah. Because it's acceptable.
And it's easy.
Yeah.
Anybody can do it. It takes no tools, no skill, no effort, no energy. You just be quiet, give them the cold shoulder, give them the smug look. You know, come into the office and just turn when they're sitting over there. And you can tell when somebody's doing it to you. And you can also know inside yourself when you're doing it to somebody else. Silence is the enemy.
I like
Make
this.
those
We have a
stories.
question.
Well, you do?
One, this doesn't have to do with it, but Rebecca did ask about our driveway that we talked about last time. And just
Yes.
interject that they did break up all of our driveway, and now they're coming back tomorrow to lay the cement. So
They were supposed to do it today, but they didn't.
we have been getting lots of exercise.
Yeah,
up
been
and
to the
down.
grocery store.
Yeah, carrying
it
the
was
groceries.
awesome.
Yeah, but it hasn't rained, so that's good. And I just walk
Praise
up
the
the
Lord.
hill and down the hill and just think of gratitude thoughts. That I'm glad I have legs. I'm glad it's not raining.
Yep.
I'm glad I
Glad
have
I'm
food.
healthy. I can go
That I
up
can
and down the
carry
hill.
up the hill. Yes. So,
Yes.
anyways, thank you for asking.
Tomorrow they're supposed to be doing it.
And then Jason asked, can someone communicate too much?
Yes.
You think so?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's
Tell us more.
okay. This is what I think. Sometimes people just it's an oversell. Like when you've communicated the point, some people tell me I do this when I preach. I'll make a point and then I'll make the same point from like 4 different scenarios. And then if you start making it from 7 and 8 different scenarios, you're overdriving the point, you're overselling, sales 101. Once the guy or the gal has already said yes, then stop selling. So when you're communicating and you've made a calm, collective, organized, valiant explanation and point, then be done with it. Sometimes I think when we over communicate, we keep saying the same thing over, trying to drive our point in more and more and more. Or the other side is when we're trying to prove our case, we're trying to prove our side so long that it's like, I get it. I get what you're saying. I get it. So we can, stop there. So over communicating.
It turns into lecturing.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the kids say. Like, you're lecturing. You're just going on and on. Like, I got it in the first couple minutes there. You can be done.
You can be done because we're humans. We're really smart. And so we can bring a point across. We can talk about it. We can open it up. We can look at it and then move on is the plan. So I think over communicating would just be going around the same mountain too many times. I don't think you're going to over communicate to work yourself through something, but going around the same problem over and over or rehashing the same thing over and over, I think there could be some over communication in there. Yes. Very good question. My
Thank
friend.
you for the question.
Yes,
I like that.
appreciate
and
that.
Melanie says, my hubby says I communicate too much. LOL. I think people just keep communicating my spin on it. I think they keep trying to say it because they still feel like you're not really getting it.
Well, that happens, but that's not an over communication.
So maybe if you just stop and say, okay, then if you want me to stop talking about it, tell me what I have said.
Yes. Tell me
And
what I'm communicating
When you
to
tell me what I'm communicating and you're right, get what I'm saying, then we can stop because now we have clarity.
Yes.
And everybody
which
can
is
be
our
at peace.
next point that we're getting to.
Oh, we
is-
are?
Well, the what
With
you hear.
clarity. Okay, go
You know,
ahead with
what
that.
do you hear?
Wait, let me make sure I'm not missing something. Oh no, I don't have to enter.
She got notes. She don't play. She don't
It's
play.
my personality.
She don't play.
I'm showing up.
Yes. So for me, and then we'll be done with this, and then we'll jump on to some more next Tuesday. I just want to touch on this point with communication.
But we're in our bed, so we got to get a lot out of this. We gotta make a most out of this moment. For those of you that weren't tuned in, this is out of my box, out of my comfort zone. I want you to just pause and feel the love that I have for you right now.
Yes.
That I'm coming to you from sitting in my bed here for 1 million people, not really a million.
Oh, I
but
would love 1 million people to see it. That would be
could
so cool.
watch. It's very personal to me, so I want you to just feel that love.
Give her some hearts.
Give me some hearts. Let me know
Fill
that
her
you
love
know
tank,
what I am
that
speaking
you are
to you right now.
appreciative that she is laying herself down to bring value, just because we think it's got connection to it. You can do the pillow talk. Like
Yeah, it's pillow talk.
the pillow talk when you're snuggling here and you're close. Those intimate times of connection where you're whispering in each other's ears is a great time to have healthy communication where you really feel like you're one, you really feel like you're on the same team, you really feel like you're team Bevilacqua or team whoever, that's a time to really talk about some deep stuff, because those are great times to do it, where all the guards down, good times. The
And
rollover
putting
time,
your phone down and actually making room for those conversations. I think more and more these days we obviously have to
Yes.
fight for that time.
yes,
Yeah.
because sitting here in bed like this,
We're guilty, for
we've
sure.
done it a million
For
times.
sure.
And we're telling you that this is not intimate,
Yeah.
right? It's just
So we're not
it's
saying
here.
that we've arrived, but I will say that these
We've done a
videos
lot
have been
better.
helping us,
Yeah.
hopefully just as much as they're helping you. I can tell, just having the conversations and keeping it at the forefront of your mind, being more aware in your day to day, helps. So I've enjoyed it.
Yeah, for sure. So communication, back on track.
You want your knee to be up like that?
Hey, there's my knee.
Okay.
It's a little more comfy.
Okay.
We're going to try to get it out. When you communicate, we all the time think that just communicating is words. We've already talked about that body language has a ton to do with it, which is why pillow talk is so effective, because the body language is bam, 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 on point, hello. So you don't have the faces, you don't have the folds, you don't have the shoulders, you don't have what's going on, you don't have where the kids are. It's quiet, it's dark, it's intimate, and you can really get to some things and hash through stuff, and sometimes just tell each other how amazing you are, and how thankful you are, and how grateful you are that God's brought you together, or whatever the scenario is, even little stuff like that. But after we communicate and we understand body language has a lot to do with it, there's one key crucial point that I want you to take from tonight is ask the person, or ask your partner, or whoever you're talking to, ask them what you just said. Make it a habit of saying, what did you hear me say? Or repeat to me what I'm saying, to make sure that I'm communicating it well. So you're asking for reassurance that it's being said, because what happens is you say something and you mean it this way, they hear it through their filters of life, all the things that they've been through is all knotted up, and that's how they hear through their filter, which 9 times out of 10 isn't actually how you said it. So you could be going in this direction and they're hearing in this direction. So when you communicate of what you're communicating about, you actually find out what's being said by saying, what did you hear? So kind of get that in your game plan, put it in your huddle notes, put it in your playbook, that when we're communicating, especially about some things that are heavy to us or are a big deal, even if it's a big deal to one of you, ask the other person, what did you hear me say? What did I say so that I make sure that it's coming across well? What did I say so that I make sure I communicated it well, so we're both hearing the same thing? So you got communication, and then you got what did you hear? 2 totally different things. So when you bring those together, you actually have good communication. Hopefully that makes sense. What do you think?
Sounded great.
Good. What did you hear me say?
A lot. To ask questions.
That was hilarious. Am I over communicating, Jason? Am I over communicating?
Well, now that I'm back awake here, just make
That's
sure
so
you're
funny.
asking them. I mean, we've gone round and round just like anybody else, and just like a place of frustration because you're like, I guess we're not communicating well. Or have you ever just had those days, like we've literally said, like all day today, we are just not communicating well. Like
2 different
I'm
directions.
not getting you, you're not getting me. Like it's just
And
not.
we have the conversation about that.
Yeah, we say
because
that.
we're on the same team. So we say that. Just feels like we've been off on communicating. So what am I saying? What are you saying? Let's try to rehash this so that our communication comes back together, because that's where it's at. Healthy
Yeah.
communication means healthy relationships.
And we kind of talked about the silent treatment, but before we sign off, I just want to also use the other angle of that, of being silent as far as expecting people to read your mind.
Yeah.
Expecting people to read your mind is just a waste of both of your time.
So
that
true.
is really good.
So true.
So learning
people are mind readers.
Yeah, quit keeping it into yourself and expecting the other person that they should just know what to do, they should just know what to say, they should know how you're feeling, they should know what you want. You should be willing to communicate and ask for what you want and what you need. And if you don't know what you want or you need, you shouldn't expect for them to know what you want or need. And maybe you need to sit down and get clear on what you want and what you need.
Communicate it.
And communicate that in a loving way instead of punishing them with the silent treatment.
Or getting offended.
Yeah, or getting offended and backing off out of the relationship, wanting disconnection, basically, trying to punish them with your disconnection.
Because you're offended at something that they have no clue that you're mad about because you have not communicated it. Give you one example and we'll sign off. Newlywed couple, husband goes to work, comes home, the house isn't cleaned, no food's made.
Is this a true story?
No.
Oh.
Wife's on the couch watching TV. The husband comes in, makes dinner, cleans the house, goes to bed, does that for a couple of weeks. Every day when he comes home, he's more ticked off, more offended, more mad because she's not making him food or cleaning the house. And in her mind, I'm a stay-at-home mom and my husband does everything because this is how it was in my house. At my house, when I grew up, Dad did everything. Mom just kind of hung out and was there and loved everybody. So to her, she's doing something normal to her. And to you, you're expecting her to be a stay-at-home mom that cooks and cleans. So when you get home and you don't say anything, you're just getting madder and madder and madder. And then about 3 weeks in, you come in, you sling the food around, you bang the pots and pans, you slam the door, you explode and finally communicate. You don't do crap around here. I work all day, I come home, you don't have any food for me. And she's like, whoa, what just happened? I had no idea that you wanted me to do that. I was actually bored all week. I probably should have just made you some food. I wasn't even thinking about it. And it would have just taken one conversation to, hey, baby, you're home all day. I'm working. Do you think that maybe when I come home, we could all sit down and eat together like a family? And then you communicate it and then you move on. But those are the kind of things that we're talking about. Nobody's a mind reader.
It's not
Nobody
fair.
knows.
Yeah,
Nobody knows what everybody else is thinking. Nobody knows how people are raised.
And not to drop hints like, oh, well, I hinted and they didn't get it. Like, I basically said it and they still didn't get it. I hate it when people drop hints. I have rude. Intentionally said, if you are speaking to me, please just tell me exactly what you want to tell me. Don't drop hints around the room and expect me to pick up on it because I might not.
Like come home from dinner and be like,
straight.
Nice food.
Just tell me if you're talking to me or you want me to know something. Please tell me.
Please.
Please. So that we can talk it out because relationships are such treasures. They're so valuable.
Treasures.
Man.
If you have 4 or 5 good ones your whole life, you're completely blessed.
Yeah, they just get richer and richer. And really, the conflict actually allows for it to get richer and richer.
Yes.
When you can work through it in a healthy way and get to the other side. Not by ignoring it or shoving under the rug, but like actually walking through that process together.
Yeah.
Like there's such a tightening that happens and such a value for one another.
Yeah.
That's something we say with John and Rachel a lot, through our...
For sure.
I was just thinking about them when you were saying that.
Journey and friendship of, how long has it been?
Since I was 26.
Let's just say 8 to
1999.
Yeah, and I'm sure some of you, that have long-term friendships or whatever, like Rebecca, I have long-term friendship with her, Stacy, long-term friendship with her, and along that time, somewhere along the line, there's going to be conflict. But when you're willing to walk through that conflict together and communicate give each other permission to be, but actually communicate and not isolate and not hint and not ignore, but like walk through it.
Yep,
Man,
talk about it.
there's such appreciation on the other side that you're willing to fight for the relationship because you do value it. It is such a treasure.
Yes.
And
that
it does
tightens,
become so rich.
Yeah, it tightens, it gets richer, it gets deeper, the bond is more, and then you really end up with a few ride or die friends and family that, you know, thick or thin, we together. Rich or poor, we together. Rain or shine, we together. You know, offended, good mood, bad mood, whatever. You know, poopy pants, grumpy pants, whatever you want to call it. You know, just being yourself, tightening it up, communicating, walking through it, and listening to what the person is actually saying. You know, not waiting for your response, but listening so you can hear it, because that's the key.
Communication is the key, and silent treatment.
Silence is the enemy.
Yeah, because it disconnects. Puts that space in there, and we don't want to be spaced apart. We want to
together.
Connect. Yeah.
Together.
Does anybody
Ta-da-da.
have any other questions that you would like to talk about before we sign off?
Oh, you getting official up in the bed.
Yeah, and share it out. For those of you that weren't on in the beginning, maybe
Share
popped
it.
on later, if you'll share
Hearts.
it out so we can reach as many people as possible and share.
No way.
What? Oh, Jason. Does
Don't
it
see-
do a
Yeah, I don't
refresh?
see any, think so. I don't know.
Okay.
No questions. We love you. This is us.
This is us.
We'll
Love you.
see you Tuesday.